Let us know when you're ready. Okay. Well, thanks again for joining us for another video. Had a lot of great feedback on that strains video, one of my favorite topics.
We actually had some very strong opinions that disagreed with what was discussed in the last video, but we did have a turnaround in which people ended up doing their own research and finding out that what Kelly was saying was true, that there are no strains, there are no 57 strains, there aren't these magical strains. It's actually just the drying process in which the leaves are dried up that makes the difference in the alkaloid, not the alkaloid, I don't know, the alkaloid content, or just the difference in the feelings that you get from the different types of kratom.
So now that we're here and we're going to have a voice in the kratom community, we at least want to be open to what you guys are saying too. This isn't about we're trying to run our own agenda. We're going to be open to the things you guys want to say, and yeah, help us out. Help us modify the things we say. You know, we're working with Chris Bell. We did this movie. We have access to Chris Bell. We can talk to Chris any day of the week. And if there's some stuff that we need to share, help us out. Help us get that information out. Help us get the relevant information that we need to bring public. We funded this movie ourselves. We paid to have this movie made. We sought out the relationship with Chris Bell, and we made this movie happen. But we also did it in I think, kind of a responsible way. Sure, we have a couple pictures of our product, but we did this responsibly. You know, the feedback has been awesome, you know, other than the way I look, you know, in my golf game. And, you know, the thing that we really want to go forward with is we want to represent Kratom, we want to represent the entire community, and we want to help the community come together. Reddit's always been kind of a place that we haven't been able to reach, and so that's why with this video we're really reaching out to Reddit and say, you know, come on, baby, let's hug it out. We love you, Reddit, come on. Our big things is there's a lot of people working on the political agenda. The BEA, the AKA, they're doing a great job with all the political action. You know, our focus is much more pushing the science. So we know we have the medical background behind the science and Kratom to keep it legal. In the movie, I have a couple of less than positive comments about Reddit.
This industry operates like a bunch of head shop little drug dealers.
And back in the day when Reddit had this vendor list, the vendor list was, you know, it became this almost impenetrable group of people. My voice could never be heard, or I could never have a presence on Reddit because I was quickly bullied and ran out of the schoolyard, if you will, because the information that I wanted to share on Reddit wasn't the same as the powers that be. It wasn't the same information that the vendors that controlled the situation, they didn't want that information out there because that information did not help them.
I quickly caught on that a couple vendors actually had like 10 different account names. So if someone had, like, let's say people were trying to talk about, you know, there actually aren't different strains, or how do they separate the strains, or how do you know, it would quickly get shut down by one person pretending to be 10 different people. I also figured that out in our last YouTube video. You know, our friend Bob Knob Gobbler was also Charlie Marley, so he was two different people debating the same point. Or how do you know who's the same person or who's not, or who's actually has a genuine opinion? I'd love to know in the comments below, you know, how do you know when someone online is telling you the truth and when they're just BSing?
You need to be a seasoned Kratom veteran to really sort through all the stuff. I mean, there's you know, some of the most knowledgeable people in Kratom are on Reddit, but there are also some people that speak more loudly than other people, and the information might not be positive in my opinion. What are the 5 most important things about Kratom to Reddit? The 5 most important things about Kratom to the Reddit consumer. So one of the other things that we did while we were making this movie is we looked at the online presence about Kratom, and if we're going to be introducing Kratom to millions of new people, where are they going to go to learn about Kratom? I know a lot of things have changed on Reddit. So it used to be when you would look at the Reddit and you would see people posting about they got a bad batch from some vendor, and so they had to throw it away. They got a bad batch and it made them sick immediately. And within the Reddit community, that's been kind of an acceptable standard, that bad batches happen. You know, shitty Kratom does come through the mix, and you just got to be used to it, and you've got to know how to judge your own Kratom. that shouldn't be the case. I mean, that really shouldn't be the case. And so when we looked at where are the new people we introduced to Kratom through this movie going to come to learn about Kratom, we were kind of scared, so we formed another forum, A Leaf of Faith forums. We formed that for the purposes of helping people understand Kratom from a different perspective.
You know, we do want to know what you know, and you know, hopefully be able to share, you know, all the information we've learned about Kratom as we go, and you know, weed out the misinformation. So please feel free to leave your comments and suggestions, feedback down below. We love reading the comments and, you know, kind of seeing, like in our last video, that we were able to change some minds. And not necessarily we were able to change some minds, other than more put out information out there and you research it for yourself.